So you'll need a sweater with a hole, some yarn which hopefully came with the sweater, a pair of scissors, and a needle. So this one here you'll see is a little bit, the eye of the needle is a little bit small. So if you can get something which is a little bigger, that will make your job easier because it has to be big enough to thread the yarn. So the first step is to unwind the yarn that has come with your sweater. If you don't have the same yarn, you can of course use thread, but the yarn will be best because it will be the exact same color and texture and thickness as the original sweater. So we're going to see if this will work. I've got my thread looped around just so I can pick it up, and I pinch it and put it through the eye of the needle and pull that. So I want a nice tail, and the purpose of that is to keep it in place as I'm pulling it through the hole. This is a hole in the elbow, and it's been let go a little bit long. These kind of things you want to do as soon as it happens, because the smaller, the easier the job. The smaller the hole, the easier the job. So because this is knit, we want to catch all of these little loops here with the stitches that are still in place, and we need to also fill in, because here of course the thread is gone. Okay, so normally this stitch linked up and connected here. So we're going to try to recreate the connection and the loops so that it is as discreet as possible. Now usually when we're sewing, we sew from the back side. However, because this is going to be visible, we want to be really able to see what we're doing and how it's going to look on the front side. So what I'm doing is I have to be able to hold it so that I have my hand behind, so behind the material. That means I have to kind of be inside the elbow here. And right, we're going to take a look at it to see how we can best get started. I think what we're going to do is to try and retrace each line here. So we have a line of stitches like this, and then we have the first line which is broken, and then the next line, and so forth. So we're going to try to recuperate that. Now what I need to do is make sure I have enough, I get started far enough from the hole so it gives it a bit of an anchoring, and I need to get my thread inside underneath. So I'm a little bit far from the actual tear from the hole, and I'm just getting my thread anchored into place here. So I'm going to pull it all the way through so that it's on the inside. Okay, so it becomes invisible. But I want to anchor that, so I'm going to go back over like a back stitch and back through. Okay, a little bit past the hole and pull it through gently. Now we're just going to come over to the next side here and do the same process of weaving, and we can connect it, just catch it from that line that we just made, that new thread that we just put into place. And we're going to go back and forth, pulling gently into place as we do. So now I'm going to go and weave it through this part here, which is a bit thin, so a bit extra wool is going to be a very good thing. And come back over. To the next side here. Right, so I'm back. I've finished weaving and reconnecting the fibers in one direction here. So it's not very difficult, just takes a little bit of time. So I've connected them along each row here, but I still have a gap. And what I want to do is come in and weave through the opposite way. So I'm down here at the bottom. I think I'm going to have just enough thread. So I'm running low on my thread here, so I have to bring it through. This is likely to be a little bit short. So we're going to do our best here. And there we go. So I'm going to do this up close and I'll be back. And so here is the finished repair. So it's still visible. It's challenging to get it invisible, but as you can see when you take a distance, it really does blend in. And it has the advantage when you have the same thread or the same yarn to almost disappear. Okay, so it's there, but it's very, very discreet. Voila! How to repair a hole in a sweater.